Welcome to another episode of A More Excellent You. Today, we're beginning a new series on the subject that touches almost every area of life: failure. Although failure is common, it's often poorly understood. Many people know how failure feels, but they do not know what failure actually means. And when you don't understand failure, you may give it more power than it deserves. So before we talk about overcoming failure, learning from it, or turning it into an advantage, we must begin with the foundation. What is failure? Number one, failure is an outcome. This is the simplest definition. Failure is an outcome that falls short of an intended goal, expectation, or standard. You wanted one result, but you received something lower. You expected your effort to produce a certain result, but the result you got did not match the expectation, and it was lower. Failure first describes an outcome. It tells you that something did not work. It tells you that a goal was not reached. It tells you that the result was below the required standard. But it does not immediately tell you why. It does not automatically mean you're lazy. It does not automatically mean that your entire idea was wrong. It simply means that the outcome you wanted was not the outcome that was achieved under the conditions that existed at that time. This distinction is very important because oftentimes we see people move too quickly from the event of failure to a personal conclusion. But failure should first be examined as an outcome before it is interpreted as anything else. Number two, failure is information. Failure gives you information. It tells you that there's a gap between your intention and your results. That gap may be found in your knowledge, in your preparation, in your timing, in your strategy, in your environment, or in the resources that were available to you at the time. Failure does not always give you the full explanation, but it tells you that something needs to be examined. Imagine that you're traveling to a destination and you realize that you're moving further and further away from it. That discovery in itself may be frustrating, but it's useful. That information allows you to stop, to check your routes, and make an adjustment. Without that information, you can continue confidently in the wrong direction and you will never arrive at your desired destination. In the same way, failure can reveal that your effort is not producing the intended result. This is painful, but it is also very valuable. Number three, failure is a disruption. Failure interrupts the whole story you have imagined. You made a plan. You believe that if you followed certain steps, you would reach a certain outcome. You saw yourself achieving or receiving that qualification, getting that promotion, growing that business, building that relationship, or completing that project. Failure disrupts that picture. It forces you to confront the difference between what you expected and what has actually happened. This is one reason failure can feel very uncomfortable. It disturbs your sense of certainty. It reminds you that effort does not always guarantee the exact outcome you desire. Failure disrupts the illusion that life is always following the timetable you created. That disruption can produce fear, but it can also produce maturity. It can teach you to plan carefully while remaining flexible. Number 4, failure is part of attempting. You cannot fail at something that you never attempted. Failure is connected to action. It means you try to do something. You may not have tried it wisely. You may not have prepared sufficiently. You may have taken an unnecessary risk. But somewhere within that experience was an attempt. This matters because many people avoid failure by avoiding meaningful action. They never apply, they never start, they never share that idea, they never take the next step. They remain safe from visible failure, but they also remain distant from growth. A life without failure may not be evidence of perfection. It may be the evidence that you are attempting very little outside of what is familiar. This does not mean that we should pursue failure carelessly or take unnecessary risks, but it means that some risk of failure is present wherever there is growth, change, and meaningful achievement. Stay tuned for our next episode on what failure is. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye for now.